Hey guys, welcome back to Vox Pop. It is O Week of 2021. We're looking around to ask students what their goals are for 2021 in terms of uni. Are they going to find themselves in more clubs, more events? Are they going to find the best food place on campus? Or are they going to attend a single lecture this year? Let's find out.
I just want friends.
I just want to get through all of this. Not much, honestly. Don't really have any expectations. Sorry.
Okay, what about you?
Oh, wait, what?
To attend every single lecture, you know?
Every single lecture.
Yep, pretty much.
What about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Try not to skip classes online, you know?
To not come to uni and still pass. Indeed.
Right, no lectures for you.
No lectures at all.
You don't need to study. You don't need to study at all. Just like tell the lecturer that if they don't, I probably shouldn't say this.
We have it on camera. Did you do this before? Blackberry?
I want to study harder than in high school because I kind of slacked off.
I want to pass uni.
Yeah, I think just trying to survive the year.
Get free food, socialize more.
So my expectations for this year is just to have a good social life after quarantine. I think it's really important for first years as well to have a good social life. And also, yes, I will attend my lectures. They are compulsory.
We have a clipboard. If you want to read one of these things out, we'll give you a free bucket hat. Is that a good deal for you?
That sounds like a great deal.
If you can read one of these lines on this clipboard, we'll give you a bucket hat. So,
Come join Blitz UNSW. It's the best place on campus to make friends and have fun.
It's the best place on campus to make friends and have fun.
Join Blitz UNSW. It's the best place on campus to make friends and have fun. Why is it a question mark?
What is Blitz, you might ask? Blitz is a community where
people come together and shoot videos,
record podcasts, and write articles.
We are a bunch of the most talented, creative, fun, and most of all, humble people in UNSW.
Blitz has been one of the best experiences of my life, and this is me speaking as a past volunteer.
I would do anything to relive my time with Blitz and all the amazing people I met along the way. If only I could turn back time.
Our first Blitz meetup is this Friday at 12 p.m. near Arc Reception.
Now that I've heard about this, you've convinced me to turn up for a really fun time. I can guarantee it already, guys.
Basically, what I'm going to be talking to you about is the challenges of Aussie football in Australia, and also just getting a seniors team and things like that. So I'd really love to know about your younger self. How did you get into football? Kind of, who did you look up to growing up?
Probably, I think same with everyone. I guess my dad really just got me into it. He played a little bit when he was younger as well.
Yeah.
Just for the local rep team, like Manly United and that. So yeah, he just got me into it, and then growing up, I started loving it. Was always playing with my mates and always looked up to Ronaldo and Messi, really, same as everybody.
So, I mean, I would say you're kind of a big deal in the A-League. I mean, you scored on your debut. That's massive. But can you describe the feeling of scoring on your debut in front of your entire fan base?
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it as well, to be honest, because it was after the ACL comp as well, and I was already quite happy with how I went in terms of that over in Qatar, and that was in front of zero supporters because all the COVID stuff. And then yeah, I honestly couldn't believe it, to be honest.
I think this is more of a cultural question, but do you ever wish there was a little bit more attention or I guess passion for the A-League in Australia? Because I definitely feel there's so many football fans in Australia that just don't watch them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. You watch an AFL game, they got 70,000 people going each week. So I think, yeah, very good if we could get more sport. But I think there's they're trying to do stuff now as well, I guess, with the new broadcast deal, just to make it more accessible to more people. And I think they're still working on like developing their own like sort of platform. Yeah.
Can you describe like the nature of pursuing a professional career in Australian football? Mainly because, you know, soccer isn't kind of massive here. You know, people would prioritize AFL or NRL and things like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, people don't see football as this crazy sport in comparison to others. What are the challenges and how competitive is it really?
I agree with you. Like, it's definitely hard to like break into it. There's like, because it's like the highest participation sport as well in Australia, but not the most popular in terms of like viewership, everything. There's definitely like a lot of competition. Like, there's a lot of kids trying to get there. And I guess especially in terms of the A-League, it's sort of got like a reputation for like prioritizing older, sort of like recycled, like, older players. And it's definitely very hard for young players to come into. Like, a lot of the time, no matter like how well you play, they'll often give priority to the older boys. So it makes it very hard. But I think also at the same time, it's very rewarding. Like, at the moment, I love it. Like, going into training each day. Like, yeah.
Did you have like a kind of a challenge that stands out in your head when you were trying to kind of, I guess, prove yourself to be worthy of getting into the seniors team?
It wasn't necessarily one challenge. I think I was probably like, I was training with the senior team for like over a year before I got on the field at all. So I think it's more sort of like a long-term thing, but like, I guess, trying to learn off the other players so that I guess you're ready.
I'd love to know what your dream is now. Obviously you're recovering from a back injury, things like that. But do you wish to stay in the A-League more, get your minutes up, or do you aim for international competitions, La Liga, Premier League, Bundesliga, anything like that?
That's pretty much exactly what like I want to do. And like, I think it's a good thing for a lot of people to aim like to get overseas. But I think first it's pretty important that you do get like a decent amount of games over here. Like, at the moment, I think I played like 13 games in total. But for me, my aim, I guess, is to like play next season out and then try to move overseas to, I think.
Hey guys, it's Blitz, and today we're at Leichhardt Swimming Pool, and today we are going to take a look at underwater rugby. UNSW actually has one of the only underwater rugby clubs in the whole world, so we're going to have a little look at what it's like today. And with me are 3 volunteers, including myself. I know about these guys, but I'm pretty excited, but let's see what they think.
There is a reason I quit all contact sports.
I am also excited. I just hope I don't get wet, but yeah.
How are you feeling about today?
Yeah, pretty excited. Yep.
Now that's it, folks. Let's start. Bye-bye. So today I'm with Carmen, and she is the secretary of UNSW's Underwater Rugby Club. What is underwater rugby?
Well, underwater rugby, it's a 3D sport that happens underneath of the surface, as it says its name, underwater. The aim of the sport is to put a ball in a basket, in a big basket that is in the bottom of the pool. The pools are between 3.5 and 5 meters, normally are diving pools. So it's a 6x6 against 6 team. And the rules basically are you cannot hold from any of the gear and you cannot choke.
Oh wow! hope that doesn't happen today.
It's not allowed to choke. It's not allowed to choke. It's not allowed to choke. So at the end, it's like it's a 3D sport because it's the only sport that you can actually play that everything happens all around you. Anybody can attack you from any of the sides.
How do you join? What's the process like?
Well, normally we try to welcome anyone that is interested in water sports. Overall, one of the key parts probably is that they are able to swim. If you're a woman, or if you're a man, or if you're old or if you're young, we are always happy to have anyone.
What's the training process like?
We normally, the beginner sessions, we try to make it step by step. So we first go through the steps of getting your gear, get comfortable, start to get in the water, and then we start to do small exercises where they walk them through the basics, and then we start to do more exercises towards getting down in the water. So little by little we introduce them, and then we start to play games.
That sounds great. So let's see what it's like.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty stoked. Seems fun.
What was that? This is kind of. How about you? Stoked. Yeah, just don't want to get my hair wet. I can't really see much.
Water is my drug.
So there's 3 positions for underwater rugby. Then we have a goalie, we have a back, and we have which is on the bottom, and then we have a forward. And we're going to do a couple of swims on both directions to see how it goes.
A bit uncomfortable right now.
I love you, Mom. Please save me.
What about you, Tom?
Let's go.
Let's get it. Step for man. One large step for
Hello, how are you? I'm underwater. Hello, how are you? I am under the water.
My question is, there's a basket, there's a ball, they've got half court and they've got free throws. Why is it not underwater basketball?
So we just finished our first game of underwater rugby. How do you think it went, Joey?
It was very intense, and I can feel my dad butt going down a lot, and I feel really healthy right now. Definitely would do it again. Really good aerobatics. Yeah, aerobatics.
How was the training session? Was it hard?
It was really good. Yeah, I mean, I think it gets a bit of getting used to at the start, but I think once you get the hang of it, like once you get the snorkel on, once you get the cap on, once you get the gear on, I think it's not too bad. I think it's just like you need practice, and once you get the practice in, it's not too bad of a sport.
Okay.
So we came in there clutch the last second, scored those last 23 points, didn't we?
Wait, who actually won though?
We won because we deleted the footage of them scoring.
Who's we?
We us.
Thanks guys for watching Blitz tries underwater rugby. Today's been a great adventure. I think we almost drowned, all of us.
Just a few times.
Yeah, just a few times. But yeah, hopefully you guys come and try this sport out too.
For sure, definitely recommend it.
Yep.
Have a good one, guys.
Good one. Bye.
Hey guys, welcome back to Blitz. We're doing a $10 food challenge today. Firstly, we have our contestants we have to meet. Hello, what's your name?
My name's Mel.
Great. Are you excited for today?
Yes, free food.
Okay, what about you? What's your name?
Sahyun.
What, do you have a secret place on campus that you're gonna find food?
Probably not, so I'm just gonna wander around for 20 minutes.
That sounds good to me. What about you? What's your name?
Jenna,
Are you gonna win today?
definitely.
Really? That's great. Now, here are the $10 you guys all have.
One eternity later.
Okay, so I got a kebab from the upper campus. Yeah, there wasn't much to get, so I just got a kebab for $10. It's a chicken one. Yeah, it's gonna taste good.
I got from the Roundhouse for $9 and not 10, a chicken burger. So let's see, let's open it. It's a chicken burger. It looks pretty good, and it also comes with chips. So here are the chips. Yep, and it came with a soft drink or whatever drink you want. I got lemon lime bitters, so this looks absolutely delicious, and I'm clearly gonna win.
Clearly. And the one that's in the middle,
Yeah.
it's also from the the underneath. And I think it's just one noodle and two sides. I think they got a chicken and fried seafood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But it looks good too.
That's good.
Hi, I'm Nick Jordan. I'm Stephen's boss, and I'm a food journalist.
I like food.
I love food.
It's weirdly sweet. You know when you bite into a kebab and you want it to be like really savory, like kind of you want it to be greasy, it's a kebab. That doesn't have this. It seems more healthier than a normal kebab.
It's like a honey flavor.
Yeah, right, the sauce.
Is good.
Like,
It's not dry.
it's nice and tender.
Yeah.
But have you ever had dry kebab chicken?
No, never.
Yeah, it's just like a feature of kebabs that the chicken is juicy. But it is weird, the sweetness of it is really putting me off.
A chicken salad
Like I want it to be salty.
in a wrap, but not a kebab.
Yeah, but like a crappy sumo salad one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's begin.
This looks like it has no actual protein in it. Like it's just
With the
batter.
chopstick.
Do you want to try? Oh, all right, we'll go for this. Is it good?
It is just batter.
It's oil and nothing else.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually just think this is flour and oil.
No.
It's like it's not bad in the fact it's like salty crunchiness.
Oh, look. That's the filler. If you can't taste that, it's best.
It's way too salty, guys.
It tastes like the oil they've cooked it in is old. It's pretty generic.
Tastes like plastic. I would not buy this even if it was $5. And this is 10.
It's not bad.
Best part.
It's nice. It's on the bone, so it's still got a lot of tenderness. It's like kind of juicy. This has like a nice soy flavor.
I like that.
It's not chicken. It's duck.
No way,
No.
you're wrong.
Yeah, you're
It's
fucked.
duck.
You're wrong.
Yep.
It's duck.
I love duck. I
We're retiring you from the
This is
food
duck.
judge panel.
Tell me this is not chicken.
Tell me this is not chicken.
Hey, nice. Look at the structural integrity on this. This has been chopped into 3 ways, and it's still completely held
I just
together.
want to say that we're definitely not being paid by the Roundhouse to say this. We're not sponsored. We
are sponsored.
Close up of this.
All right.
I'm gonna say this is easily the most delicious thing I've eaten so far. And thank you, Roundhouse, for your $10,000.
It's funny because it's really good. No, it's really good. Well, better than
Way too good to be $9.
better than the kebab.
Cheapest out of
Look, I'm not gonna say it's an extraordinary chicken burger,
it's not.
but it's at very least a solid chicken burger.
It's worth it.
And considering the other 2 things we had were like just so baseline.
ARC is partnering with QPay to bring you ARC Rewards. ARC Rewards is an exclusive offer for ARC members to get you cash back on your daily purchases. Follow these steps to activate your ARC Rewards card. 1. Look out for your registration email and SMS. 2. Follow the prompts to register. 3. Add the ARC Rewards card to your mobile digital wallet. 4. Add funds to your ARC Rewards card via the QPay app. 5. Spend with your ARC Rewards card at your favourite stores and start getting cash back. There are hundreds of cashback partners on campus, off campus and online. Go on, get rewarded with ARC Rewards.
Perfect. Let's go with that.
Yamaganu, my name's Jaden Kitchener-Waters and I'm from the Indigenous Students Association. I'm here to introduce the Sustainable Bush Tucker Garden, an initiative from ARC and UNSW Sustainability that encourages giving back to Mother Earth.
Planting thousands of years ago, before any European settlement was here, this entire region was covered in a unique biome called the Eastern Suburbs Banksia Scrub. This covered 5,300 hectares from Botany Bay all the way up to North Head, and now it's being reduced down to just 3% of that size. That's part of the reason that the ARC Native Edibles Garden Project is so important today. We're trying to remind people of the cultural and historical heritage of this area. These plants sustained Indigenous people for thousands of years.
See you next time. Whatever it is. Cool.
Alright, The Producers is an ARC volunteering program that plants and maintains community gardens around UNSW campus. Today we're planting native geraniums, creeping violets, and another 10 plants to replicate the Eastern Suburbs Banksia Scrub in this new community garden. The whole biome will be centered around 2 dwarf Banksia scrubs right here behind the business school. We hope that after a few months of growing, we're able to harvest and enjoy some traditional vegetable bush tucker.
Planting an Indigenous garden is so much more than just about putting the right species in the ground. This garden is going to be a nexus of understanding and learning of the longest continuing culture in the world. It's going to be a place where anyone can come and learn about plants that have sustained people for thousands upon thousands of years. It's a kind of learning that you don't normally get in a university, and we're so proud that art can bring that to UNSW.
Gardening has proven therapeutic benefits. We're outside, away from our screens, enjoying nature and creating life. Plus, in the same way that this garden needs nurturing, Aboriginal culture and heritage deserves our care and respect. It is so rewarding and fun that the producers is able to play a small part in this. Here we are. Our little native edible garden has created an opportunity for us to learn, develop and explore together. Come visit us soon.
Yama Gabba Bulliagu Ganu, Nyamunday, Nyaya Jaden Kitchener Waters, Gomori Murray Nyempa, Wallabane Dewan Tamworth, Diangayan Bar Bidjigal. This is You Can't Ask That, brought to you by ARC and the Indigenous Students Association for NAIDOC Week.
My name's Rosie Bowman. I'm a Bachelor Woman, which is up in Queensland around Gari, Fraser Island. Yeah, that's me.
And I'm Lizzie Mayers. I'm from the Warramo mob, and we're up in Gloucester, Tungurry, Foster Way.
Hi, my name's Winnie Manton. I'm a proud Warramo woman. My mob's up at Nelson Bay, Newcastle area. And yeah.
I'm Oliver Pike. I'm from Dubbo, New South Wales. My mob is Wiradjuri Nemba.
My name is Jordan Atoya. I'm a proud Wiradjuri man. I'm from a small community, central west New South Wales, Narromine.
No, it's definitely not okay to ask that.
We take offence.
Yeah, that is seen as offensive.
No, I personally don't think, because Aboriginality isn't a percentage. Like, you can't say, oh, you're 10% Aboriginal. Like, if you're Aboriginal, you're Aboriginal. Like,
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
No, it's actually quite racist when people ask that question.
Incredibly disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. Like a common response that you'll see from the black communities are like, oh, how black are you? Oh, just me left foot. Nothing else, just me left foot. And I think it's a problem that is slowly being erased in the communities, but very racist and not right to ask that question.
like, you can't specifically tell someone how Aboriginal you are.
Yeah, and it's not, like you were saying, it's not a percentage and it's not something that can be categorised. Someone's not more Aboriginal than another person because they have more connection to culture or because they have darker skin or a fatter nose. Aboriginality is about a feeling, and if you're a black fella, you're a black fella. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, like there's a saying, like no matter how much milk you put in a cup of tea, it's still a cup of tea. So, you know.
Still a tea.
Yeah, still a tea.
Still
black and still deadly.
A lovely cup of tea that is.
I've never seen the free stuff, have you?
Yeah, got my car yesterday.
very true.
That's a stereotype.
Yeah, that's just a
not true at
stereotype.
all.
I mean, I don't get anything from the government, so.
And I still pay for my HECS fee at uni, so I only just finished paying it off. So no, we do not get anything for free. Everything is means tested.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't get anything for free, so I've worked for everything that I've got in my life. So is my dad. So yeah, I mean, I don't get anything from the government or anything.
No, it's the same here. I don't get anything from the government. I have worked, my parents have worked for everything that they've got. No, people seem like they may get free stuff, but they don't.
Yeah, people assume and ask like, what do I get from Centrelink or anything like that? And I'm like, I don't get Centrelink or I don't get government payments or anything like.
No.
It's all means tested anyway, so.
And it's like you may get people talking about ab study and all that sort of stuff, but not every blackfella gets that. And it's kind of like youth allowance. There are non-Indigenous people that get means from the government, and that can be seen as the same thing, if free stuff, if that's what you want to call it.
So Aboriginals, mostly mainland Australia, Torres Strait Islander, you're heading up towards top of Queensland, all the islands that surround it, up there, up at towards the peninsula area, and then Indigenous is just all First Nations people. Yeah.
Throughout the world.
Throughout the world, yeah.
But you need to ask an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander person what they want to be referred to.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't identify as Indigenous. I identify as a First Nations person.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you identify?
I identify as all Indigenous, Aboriginal, First Nations person. It's because I'm not just Aboriginal. I'm also South Sea Islander as well. So, yeah.
And that's right. And I identify as a black woman because I feel I'm as black as they come.
Yeah.
And yes, sure, I might have other ancestry, but it doesn't matter to me. I identify as an Aboriginal woman or First Nations woman.
Yep.
So I'll start off with Indigenous is like the native people of the land all over the country, all over the world. But an Aboriginal is Indigenous to Australia, and the Torres Strait Islander are the islands above Australia.
It's very important that you don't call Aboriginal people Torres Strait Islander and vice versa. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders are both Indigenous, but Aboriginal people aren't Torres Strait Islander unless their parents are both.
Yeah, unless they're both, yeah.
There's a distinct difference there. But like Jordan was saying, Indigenous people are all over the world. Māori people Indigenous, Native Americans are Indigenous.
Which makes Aboriginal Indigenous to Australia.
So yeah. Simple.
Indigenous people, I can be called Indigenous. Someone else, the Maori people from New Zealand, can be called Indigenous for their country, for their nation.
Yeah.
You.
Something like this. Something like this.
Something like this.
Yeah. I mean.
Everything.
Everything.
White, black, yellow, green, everything. We're every colour, every skin tone, anything.
We don't really have a specific look.
Yeah. No.
Well, that's a hard one. What do we look like?
They look like you, they look like me.
We look like normal people.
Yeah, anyone walking around. I don't think, however dark your skin is a definition of how black you are. I mean, I know someone who's redhead, pale, as black as they come, so.
Yeah, I have cousins like that as well.
Yeah.
So if a person asks you if you're Aboriginal and you say you are, that's enough.
Yeah.
You don't need to validate it any other way.
That's a very broad question.
Speaking of broad noses,
Like look like anything, like there's no specific categories to what an Aboriginal person looks like. Like you can have light skin, dark skin, any kind of hair, any kind of colour hair. Like there's no
big nose, little nose.
Yeah, big lips, little lips. Like, there's no specific categories.
Yeah, there are stereotypes of what Aboriginal people look like, but these days blackfellas There's a big variety of us. We're not all the same.
As a non-Indigenous person, you can buy it,
but you can't paint it. I think painting and our artwork is a very spiritual thing. That's how it started, that's how it's still done, and that's our connection to our culture. So if you are a non-Indigenous person doing it, you've got no connection there to the actual spiritual sense of doing Indigenous art. So you can't do it, but you can buy it, you appreciate it, hang it up in your house if you want to.
That's right, yeah.
Two parts to that question. As a non-Indigenous person, you can buy art. If I always say, if you want to buy the art, so I create art. If you want to buy my art, I do like you to understand the art that you're buying, where the story behind it. You're not just going to buy something, a painting about the whale, and then just hang it up and say it's a whale. You need to know and understand where that's come from. But to create it, I guess.
To create it, definitely not, because we have a connection when we create art. But I feel like definitely for someone that's non-Indigenous, there's not really a connection there. Like not as spiritual or what we feel when we make it, if that makes any sense at all.
But if you're not Indigenous and you want to do Indigenous painting, you can have somebody in the community teach you how to do it, but you can't do it anywhere else unless you get permission from.
Yeah, you need to get permission.
So I'm a First Nations person, I can't paint for anything. Whereas you're another First Nations woman and you can paint.
Do a bit, yeah.
See, so the two of us, one can paint and one can't paint. I can't dance, you can dance?
I can dance a little, yeah.
See, so just because you're Aboriginal doesn't mean you can do all those things.
Yeah, that's true.
You're still a whole person in the community, and then you fit in and you identify the way you are, and you're out there and as strong as you feel it's up to you. And it's up to nobody else who tells us how to be Aboriginal, because we're Aboriginal First Nations people.
Yeah.
You've got to get permission to create art from the area that you're from. You can't just go out and take photos of the land. You can't say it's Aboriginal art. You can't just do dot painting, hatching, anything, weaving. As a non-Indigenous person, you can do it with permission and with guidance from a respected person from that mob.
No, I don't think they did. I mean, Jaden's introduction in language, so.
And we incorporate a lot of our languages. If we don't know them, if they have been lost somewhat, they're being revitalised now through listening to the country, and we're finding it out now. And what we can do as Aboriginal people, we can use words like deadly and Jillawa and all these sorts of words, and that we incorporate, like I say, trust your Mary, that means trust your gut.
Yeah.
See, so you just pick up little bits, and like Jaden can speak it fluently, you probably can speak more than I can, I know a few words.
I speak a little. A lot of our language was fairly lost because of the area that my mob's from, but I find that our language is a connection back to our land and our culture and our heritage, so I think that's why it's still important and that it's not lost as well.
And it's so special to hear an Aboriginal person speak their language.
Yeah, that's a very big privilege.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No, I don't think they're irrelevant. Schools in Australia are built on the traditional lands of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. Definitely not irrelevant. They are taught in respect for the owners in which the land you're on, and they're taught with correspondence to elders from that area and educated people in that language.
It's just important for mob to feel connected, especially when you're growing up in like white institutional places. It's so important for them to feel like they have at least something to feel connected to. Yeah, I think it's important to keep it going.
This is a good question. This is a really good question.
It is. And I could answer it.
Did you want to answer it then?
Well, you start off.
Okay, so an acknowledgement, you're not from that country, but you're acknowledging that country that you're standing on, and also non-Indigenous people can do it from my understanding. And then a welcome to country, you are from that country, you're welcoming people to your country and to your land, yeah.
And it's like protocol.
Yeah.
That's what we've been using traditionally for time immemorial. We've always done the welcome to country to introduce ourselves to that country and to be welcomed onto that country by a community, a country elder.
Yeah.
And acknowledgement is when we acknowledge all the countries we walk on to pay our respects to the past ancestors and spirits.
Yeah, exactly. And just for a bit of like understanding of that as well, like back in Dream time, you weren't necessarily allowed to enter on someone else's country if you didn't have permission. So that's another thing about it that we do now. You're getting permission to walk on that land.
You're asking for permission.
Yeah, you're asking permission, yeah.
Working and studying and living off country in a white institution, I think it goes to talk about connection to culture versus connection and privilege of education. I think studying a Eurocentric system will give me a benefit to say I've got an education in the white society in which we live, for me to go back to country and educate and teach Indigenous and non-Indigenous First Nations from my mob. It's hard doing it off country, but you just got to keep pushing and knowing that that end goal is that you're going to get back out to country, you're going to give back to your mob.
I think, yeah, not being on country is a bit of a struggle. Being away from mob is pretty hard. Another thing is at a white institution, a lot of people, they don't have knowledge about First Nations people, about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and they don't hang around a lot of Indigenous people, therefore they don't understand a lot of the things that you can't ask or can't say. So I think one of the big things that I find being at UNSW is that just people don't have that knowledge. They just think they can say whatever they want.
And I think, from speaking from my perspective, because I work at Nurrugili, I think having Nurrugili, the Indigenous Programs Unit, is a space where all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students can come in and no one's going to say, oh, well, how black are you? Or everyone just accepts everyone for who they are. And as a student support officer, I aim to ensure that all the students that come to UNSW, every Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander student has the opportunity to finish their tertiary education and to be safe where they are so they can get their degrees and go out and infiltrate.
Yeah.
That's what Uncle Chicky used to say.
Nice, that's a good one.
So,
yeah, it's rough being away from home and being away from mob, and you know, you always want to go back, and when you get to go back it's like really an amazing feeling. But definitely, I know that if I didn't have Nurrugili here, then I would definitely not feel a sense of belonging in a sense. Like, at least I know that, you know, if something happens in class or if someone says something to me, I know I can go to Gilly and I instantly feel like I'm
part of that community.
And I'm at home. Like, it's like another home away from home.
Yeah.
And I can talk to people about it, and I just feel like just connected back to what I know best. So.
And it's so good because like we're all from all these different mobs and everything from around Australia, and yet we still feel as one. Brothers, sisters, everything as soon as we're back at uni. That I've ever heard or ever experienced.
One would have both. No, either
Both.
You're very pretty to be an Aboriginal.
Your white DNA comes through a lot more than your black.
Yeah.
Had that a few times.
Oh, you're going to university. That's very unlike Indigenous people.
Oh, that was a private school you went to for high school. Like, I thought you all went to public.
Yeah. Did you get a scholarship or are you paying?
Did you get a scholarship? It's funny when someone asks that and then they're on a scholarship as well.
Yeah.
And you're just like, can you really ask that?
My skin's too white to be Aboriginal.
Or where'd you get those shoes? Can you afford them?
Yeah.
Oh, you're too smart to be an Aboriginal. That one's bad.
Oh, I get told, oh, you don't have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
Because you're Aboriginal.
Yeah.
I say, oh, I wish.
You must have got that for free, sort of thing.
Oh, there was one story, this will make you laugh, all of you. There was a social worker I used to work with, he said he was up in Queensland and they said, oh, all Aboriginal people get free petrol. So what happens is when your car runs out of petrol, you stop and you get out and there's a car there with full of petrol.
What?
I've tried it. Doesn't happen down here.
You were stuck on the loop at Lapa.
Waiting for every petrol. Oh my god.
Called them whaling, got to ride on the whale.
I think an always interesting stereotype is when you get to uni and when people hear what you're studying. Like a lot of us here, especially in Urugili, we're studying some awesome degrees. We got people studying medicine, law, social work, teaching, like all of that. And like people hear that and they do the big, or if they hear you're at university, oh wow, that's amazing. Like they're just so overwhelmed with the fact that you're studying a degree. They just think that's really top level, or you're not smart enough to do that because you're Aboriginal.
And I get it because I got a job. Oh, you got a job.
You are the job.
You can't win.
Yeah.
The most important thing is we have to be who we are and just be strong and stay with mob.
Yeah. Mob. Come for mob.
Come for mob.
One of the most racist encounters I experienced was my first day at my new high school, and this girl just naturally assumed that I was in the system, that I was in foster care because I was black, which is it was pretty bad actually. I come from a very loving family, which I'm very proud of, but yeah, that was one of the most racist encounters that I've ever had in high school.
I used to own a black BMW, Series 328, and when I jumped out of my car, they said to me, is that your car or did you steal it?
Yeah.
You know, like, I've been driving that car for 5 years and they had the audacity to ask me that. No, that's wrong.
Yeah, I get that a bit too, just with walking into a fancy store, like, you don't get
they follow you.
Served or they follow you, which is, yeah, that's a bit odd. But I do love going up and spending that big after they follow me around. What else? Yeah.
I think in this institution, because I went to uni at UNSW, and when I first came here, I was discussing stuff with the lecturers, and one lecturer said to me, oh, are you Aboriginal? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, well, you don't look it. And like, I just thought, how can he say that to me?
Yeah.
You know, that gutted me. So that's why I think we didn't have the centre that we've got now when I went to uni, and that's what I would have really liked to have been able to hang with each other and say, guess what I just heard?
Yeah,
and you can sort of debrief about it.
Yeah, it is good talking to people about this stuff.
And like if they say, like I'm a teacher and I was teaching in schools, they say, oh, but you're not Aboriginal. I said, but no, I'm a teacher who happens to be Aboriginal.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
I think we've covered, like, in my opinion, I think we've covered it earlier in the questions, but like even just asking how black are you, like how like your
what's
percentage.
Your percentage, yeah.
I'm like, I never asked someone how Irish they are. I'm like, I don't really care, you're Irish or you're not, you're black or you're not. I think like in my eyes that's pretty racist, but
yeah.
But you get your daily stuff like we've just said. Obvious. When I do say I'm Aboriginal, you get the obvious. Oh, I see it in the nose. I see it in the eyebrows. They're very bushy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, yes, they are, but it's just a stereotype that you've labelled for black people in Australia.
Or some people just assume like that you're at university. They'll assume that you've either come through a program to get in, like you haven't, you know. Come in direct or anything like that, or or you dropped out and you've done TAFE in order to get, like, they always assume something different than just being like, no, you know, I did my best and here I am, and I'm going to prove to people
that I'm deadly.
That I'm deadly and I can do it.
Yeah. Because you can do it. We want you.
We want you.
Another one was my father's, he's white, and my mum's very dark skinned, and so people would often say when they'd see our family together, oh, that can't be your real dad, he's too white. Like no, that's definitely my biological father. You're so dumbfounded.
That's good. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Although I had one friend that was asked if he was a practicing Aboriginal.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What?
Okay, another question. What is practicing Aboriginal?
What is practicing Aboriginal?
I know. I don't know what it's supposed to be either.
Yeah, no.
I think he was flummoxed about that as well.
This tournament is the first time that I've played for University of New South Wales. I think that some other members on the team have played for at least a few years for the team, for the university. But yeah, for myself, this is the first time. It's been really fun. I really enjoy playing video games competitively, and playing with a team of other students from my university has been really great. And it's fun to have a little bit of competition between other universities and to be a little bit competitive. I think that would have to be Michael, or Mincam as he's known in game. He has been consistently playing really well, calling out strategy as well for the whole team, and yeah, he's been a big asset. The toughest issue would be split between, one would be the technical issue. This has all been done online and by distance, and luckily in game we have the chance to pause the game. Because if we didn't, it probably wouldn't work with all the technical issues, that someone is disconnected or someone is lagging and something's happening. The other biggest challenge has been the University of Sydney's team. They're a very strong team. We're playing against them tomorrow night, and they're all exceptional players, and they've obviously been practicing and playing very well. So they're the only team we've actually lost to in the tournament so far, and yeah, we're hoping that tomorrow will be different, but they've been very good. Being I guess the top two teams in the tournament, yeah, I'm sure both universities want to do their best and beat the other Sydney university.